What's up, what's going on, legends? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm bringing you guys the mission guide for Tier 1 of the Redacted faction here in Season 3. This one does consist of 7 total missions out of the first 6. You will need to complete 5 of them in order to unlock that final one. You complete that final one and you will unlock Tier 2. But before we dive into it, if you guys do enjoy this content at any time or find this video helpful in any way, make sure to show your support for the channel by going down below and smashing that like button. Let's go ahead and throw an easy goal of 150 likes on today's video, as well as if you guys like to find your way back to the channel for more Call of Duty content, make sure to hit that subscribe button, alongside that notification bell so we don't miss you in future videos. All right, so first up, we have upgraded arsenal. This one is going to be 3 parts. Part 1 is asking us to attach a suppressor onto a weapon at a workbench. Now, the workbench is going to be new to Season 3, and they're going to be located pretty much right next door to the buy station. So you guys are going to just want to find a buy station on the map. You guys are going to want to loot for around 3,000, probably 6,000, depending on how many attachments you actually want to equip. But you guys will need at least 3,000 to equip one of those attachments. And then you guys will go over to the workbench with a weapon that you want to equip an attachment for. I obviously recommend getting in and then eliminating any AIs, grabbing one of the AI's weapons, taking it over to the workbench once you do have that 3,000. Remove any attachment that's in the muzzle category if you need to, and you guys can attach a suppressor. You guys are going to want to make sure you guys are attaching a suppressor, otherwise you guys won't get any progress toward this mission. Then once you guys are able to attach a suppressor to the weapon that you're holding, this first part will be complete. Now, part 2 is just asking us to kill 9 cartel or AQ soldiers with a suppressed weapon. Now, you guys could obviously choose to infill with one of your insured weapon slots and have a suppressor on that, or you guys can just use the weapon that you used for part 1. Once you equip the suppressor on it, you guys are just going to go around and eliminate enemies. Now, obviously, it helps if you guys go to a stronghold. You guys should find more than enough enemies in that area, regardless of how you guys go about finding the AI, which I always recommend the tier 1s if you can find them. Once you guys eliminate the 9 AI that you need, part 2 will be complete. Now, part 3 is just asking us to extract with 2 suppressed weapons in 1 deployment. Now, if you guys chose to infill with your insured slot and it does have a suppressor on it, this should count as exfilling one of the suppressed weapons. And then obviously, if you went in and you did part 1 where you took an enemy's weapon or any weapon, went to the workstation and you actually chose to put the suppressor on it, you guys would have those 2 weapons in your inventory. And there's all that's left to do at that point is exfil safely. I think you guys could infill with 2 suppressed weapons in your inventory and then just exfil and it would still count. But regardless, once you guys do have access to the 2 suppressed weapons, you guys will want to make your way to a rescue hostage or any other way that you guys can exfil safely. Make sure you guys do that and this mission will be complete. Next up, we have Dealmaker. This one is going to be a 2-parter. Part 1 is asking us to store an electric drill, a gas can, and a golden skull in your backpack at the same time. Now, the best way to go about grabbing each and every one of these items, gas can, of course, can be found at any of the gas stations. You guys just go to the gas stations. More than likely, you're going to find at least 1 gas can in there, and possibly even 2. You guys should be able to get access to the gas cans pretty easily. With the electric drills, it seems like they've made them significantly more common, and they are more of a world spawn, so you guys will see them in the open. They're not going to just be in toolboxes or lockers. You guys will actually see them on the little workbenches that you can find in some of those buildings. Pretty much the places that you would have found the blow torches in the last season is somewhere where you guys will be finding the electric drills pretty commonly. Regardless, you guys are going to look around until you find the electric drill. And of course, you guys are going to go to the gas station, get a hold of the gas can. And I think the most challenging thing to get a hold of will be the golden skull. Now, of course, you guys can find these sometimes in supply drops. Sometimes you'll even find them in the orange boxes just around the map. And even some cases, you guys will find them as world spawns in specific locked areas you guys open with a key. But there is a pretty much guaranteed way that you guys can get a hold of a golden skull here in Season 3. That's going to be to eliminate the scavenger. So once you guys are able to figure out how to do that, and you guys go and find the scavenger and eliminate him, he drops a golden skull each and every time you guys take him out. This is definitely a great way to get a hold of a golden skull. But we will go into more with the scavenger in a future mission in this video. So I don't want to spoil it yet. Just know that all you have to do is go and eliminate that guy. He will drop the golden skull, which will allow you to have all 3 parts that you need in order to get done with part 1. Now, part 2 is asking us to trade for a secure backpack at a buy station. So if you guys haven't noticed yet, when you go over to the buy stations, you now have a new option to barter. Now, in order to actually get a secure backpack, the recipe to barter with is actually going to be the electric drill, the gas can, the golden skull. So you guys should have all 3 of these in your backpack in order to have completed part 1. You guys are then going to need to take these 3 parts over to a buy station, go to the barter option, and you guys are going to want to select the secure backpack. And because you guys do have the 3 required items, it will craft the secure backpack, completing part 2 and wrapping up this mission. Next up, we have Cartel Investigation. This one is going to be a 3-parter. Part 1 is asking us to locate the cartel in Al Mazrah. Now, this is actually going to be pretty easy because if you look at the description for this mission, it actually lets us know that they're going to be located in Halfin Port. You guys are going to infill into Al Mazrah. You guys are going to go ahead and head over to Halfin Port. Maybe you guys will get lucky and get one of the spawns nearby. Once you make your way over to the Halfin Port area and it pops up at the top of your screen, part 1 will be complete. Part 2 is asking us to kill 5 cartel soldiers. Once you guys make your way over to Halfin Port, pretty much every single AI that you will come across is going to be a cartel member. They usually are wearing hoodies. It's pretty easy to spot them. They're just AI that you did not see last season, and they do make up pretty much all of the area in Half Port. You guys won't be able to miss them. You guys are just going to need to eliminate 5 AI in this area, or 5 of the guys wearing the hoodies, and the second part will be complete. Now, part 3 is a little bit more challenging. It's asking us to find and extract 2 large contraband packages. Now, I think there's multiple spawns for this, as I have actually come across them a little bit more often and in different places than I found my original locations. But I will just share with you guys where I was able to find success and where I was able to locate them for sure. So the first location is going to be as you're heading down the dock towards the actual Half ship. You guys will see where it takes a right and goes toward the helipad. Then to the left there, obviously it goes out to a point where it breaks off and goes down into the water, but then comes back up. Because you're going to want to make your way to the little separated spot there, and you guys will climb up on top. You guys can go up the ladder or just try to go across the broken bridge there. Either way, get on top of that little platform there. You guys will see a large contraband package there. You guys can grab the first one here and move over to the second location. Now, in the second location, I was actually lucky in one of my runs to actually see 2 large contraband packages in that same area. But it's possible if you go to that location first, you guys might get lucky, find both the packages at the same time. You guys won't have to go to any other locations, but you guys are going to want to make your way over to the Half ship itself. Once you guys get across the bridge where it connects to the ship, is we'll want to immediately take the right there, and in that little area to the right, you guys will see some shelves. You guys will see a couple of those workbenches where the blow torches would normally be found, and you guys will see underneath those, if they're there, you guys will see those large contraband packages. Now, I think if people obviously get there before you and pick them up, they're not going to be located in the same exact spot for you. You guys will want to go over there and make sure you guys can get your hands on these. Now, if you guys don't see them in either of these locations, you guys will be able to find them randomly around Half Port, but these are the locations I was able to find mine, so I wanted to recommend them for you guys in order to make it a bit easier. Once you guys are able to get access to 2 large contraband packages, all that's going to be left is for you to exfil safely. Definitely recommend going for a rescue hostage. If you guys are sitting on a ton of money, you can always get a private exfil. Maybe you guys even have the gas can and you guys want to take the heavy chopper. Regardless, once you guys are able to actually exfil safely, you guys will then have completed this mission. Next up, we have Well Supplied Soldier. This one is going to be a 2-parter. Part 1 is asking us to acquire a secure supplies contract. So you guys are going to open up your TAC map. You're going to be looking at those green tactical phones, and you're going to be looking for the one that does have the cube or the square on it with the plus sign next to it. You guys are then going to ping that, head over to it, and once you guys actually grab this, first part will be complete. Part 2 is asking us to complete a secure supplies contract in 2.5 minutes. Now, I've originally thought that you would need a vehicle. You would have to be pretty fast in order to make this happen in the 2.5 minutes, but I didn't even have a vehicle. I even thought that the first one was quite a distance away and I wasn't going to be able to make it. I was still able to get all 3 boxes in the 2.5 minutes. It's really going to just depend on where the boxes are located. But if you want to guarantee success, just basically before you even grab the contract, make sure you do have a vehicle. That way you guys can make it to the locations as quickly as possible. You guys should be able to knock this out fairly quickly. Like I said, I didn't even have a vehicle. I actually ran all the way to the location expecting I wasn't going to be able to even get them. When I got the first one, the second one ended up being pretty close. I grabbed that second one pretty quick and then was even able to make it to the third one before the time limit expired. This will have a countdown on your screen, so you guys will actually have an idea of how much time is remaining, but I don't think you guys will have too many issues getting through this contract pretty quick. Again, especially if you guys have a vehicle. Once you guys are able to complete this contract in the 2.5 minutes, which just requires you to go to 3 individual supply boxes, once you guys get all of those, this contract will be complete, wrapping up this mission. Next up, we have Calling Card. This one is going to be a 2-parter, and it is a little bit confusing because I kind of feel like part 2 can come before part 1 and it would make more sense, but part 1 is asking us to find and extract 3 scavenger calling cards. Now, in order to get access to these calling cards, you're going to first need to find the scavenger. Now, the scavenger actually goes and scavenges dead operators on the map at any point. So whether it is you guys go across and eliminate any operators, or you guys come across any bodies of operators that were eliminated at any point, it is possible that the scavenger could show up and come and actually try to scavenge for their loot. Essentially, you guys can eliminate some operators, which is what I did in one of my runs. You guys can leave the area for a short period, come back to that area, and there's a chance that the scavenger will come to that area. You guys will know he's in the area because he will get pinged on the map, similar to like when you get a Juggernaut pinged after an intel contract, or when the commander's on the map and you guys can see him. You guys will be able to see the scavenger on the map. So then you guys are going to want to go to the backpacks of the operators that were in the area of which the scavenger is trying to scavenge. Inside the backpacks where the dog tag location is actually going to be, you guys will then see the calling cards that you need to grab. So you guys will need to go to each of the backpacks in the area. If there's only one backpack, there's probably only going to be one of these available. And even in one of the circumstances where I had 3 backpacks in the area, only one of them had the calling card. Now, I don't know if it's just because he didn't make it to the other bags or if he actually has to go and access the bags in order to leave the calling card behind. So it could just be a difference of how much time we actually gave him to loot the bodies. But essentially, once you guys come across a scavenger or you come across a group of enemy players that were eliminated and the scavenger ends up coming through, you guys will want to go ahead and get into those backpacks, like I said, where you guys will then be able to access these scavengers calling cards. You guys are going to need 3 of these total. Once you're able to exfil 3 of these, this first part will be complete. Part 2 is just asking us to kill the scavenger. So similar thing, either you're going to go out there and eliminate other players in order to get the scavenger to try to come to that area, or you're going to be wandering around the map. You're going to come across an area where other players were eliminated, and you guys will then see these scavengers spawn in that area. Normally, it's going to be kind of random. There was times where I eliminated people, came back to the area multiple times, and the scavenger never came. And then there was other times where I was just driving around the map and I came across the scavenger just by chance. So you guys will more than likely be able to come across the scavenger at some point during any of your matches, and you guys can also choose to try to do your best to eliminate other players in order to try to get him to spawn in a little bit easier. But across the board, I didn't notice really any consistency with that. Sometimes he came, sometimes he didn't. Regardless, you guys are just going to need to get him to spawn in by, again, coming across enemy players that were eliminated at some point, or eliminating enemy operators leaving the area and returning in hopes that he'll actually show up. Once you guys are able to eliminate him, which is pretty easy, he's probably one of the easier bosses to eliminate. You guys can even throw a stun at him. He's not super armored or anything. You guys will take him out, and this mission will be complete. Next up, we have Unstoppable Force. This one is going to be a one-parter, and it's actually pretty easy. It's asking us to destroy 3 vehicles by having the train collide with them. So as you guys know, there are 2 trains that go around the map in different directions. You guys are just going to need to get one of these trains to ram into vehicles, which the second it actually hits them, they usually get destroyed. So it should be pretty easy. I definitely recommend just going in, finding whatever vehicles you guys can, parking them on the train tracks. Now, when I actually did this, I parked 2 vehicles pretty close together on the tracks, and I went to the third one, and as I was driving the third one back, the train came and we managed to hit the 2 vehicles. So I was able to actually see them in my view, but I was pretty good distance away, and they both still counted. Then I put the third one on the tracks, allowed that train to actually hit that third one, and obviously I was able to get all 3 of these knocked out. Now, really, all you have to do is park it on there. I think you could be even on the other side of the map, but as long as you are the one that parks the vehicle on the tracks and the train manages to hit it, you guys should get the progress that you need. You guys don't have to do all 3 of these in the same match, but obviously it makes it a bit easier, and it's not a super difficult challenge, so I think you guys will be able to pull this off. But once you guys are able to get the train to destroy 3 vehicles by ramming into it on the tracks, this mission will be complete. Next up, we have our last and final mission, which is going to be Zero Tolerance. This one is only going to be 3 parts. Part 1 is asking us to infiltrate Halfed Port. So all you have to do is get into the Halfed Port area where Halfed Port pops up at the top of your screen. So whether it is you infill nearby or you guys make your way all the way across the map, once you guys get to Halfed Port where it pops up at the top, this first part will be complete. Now, part 2 is asking us to get a shot of a cartel soldier in a tactical camera. Now, at the time that I'm making this video, it's actually bugged, so whether or not you equip a field upgrade, when you get into the match, it's no longer going to be equipped. Otherwise, I would just tell you to put on a tactical camera, infill, and you guys would have access to this camera. However, they did make the spawn significantly more common for the tactical cameras, because you should be able to loot around and come across one pretty quickly. I was able to get one in my first match looking for one, and I was able to find quite a few along the journey, so they are significantly more common, and obviously you guys should be able to get a hold of a tactical camera this way. Once you guys are able to find them by looting around the map and you get your hands on it, you're going to want to make your way over to Halfed Port. So you guys are just going to want to throw that tactical camera on the wall where you know the enemies are going to be. Make sure you're not in visibility. You guys are going to then want to open up that tactical camera so you can control it. You guys are then going to want to make sure you ping one of the enemies, that is the cartel member, and again, second part will be complete. Now, part 3 is just asking us to find and extract the cartel recon report from the Satik Caves dead drop. Now, you guys have probably been to this dead drop for one of the other missions, but if you aren't familiar with the location, I will of course show you the best I can on the map. But if you guys are coming from the Zarqwa hydroelectric side, and you guys are going up over the hill to the Satik Caves, and you guys are on top of the hill that actually has a radio tower, going to be on that other side of the hill there. And again, I will show you guys this location on the map. Is we'll make your way over to this dead drop location, but be careful when you're in this area. There can be a lot of AI. There could be quite a few tier 2s. You guys are going to want to make sure you eliminate quite a few of these enemies before heading down to the dead drop. You guys are going to go into the dead drop. You guys will then be able to pick up this report. Then all you will need left to do is to extract. So you guys will then want to find your way to your closest exfil, or even a rescue hostage, or any of the other exfil options. You guys are then going to want to exfil safely with this report. You guys will wrap up tier 1 of the Redacted faction. That's going to wrap things up for today's mission guide. Thank you guys for all the support in today's video, all the support in the channel, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Peace.